Barber.
Dude, Cole King's my dude, right? But guess what, Brycen? We are live.
This shit's fire.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to another live Pendergast podcast with my boy Rossi in the house right now. And Caden, yeah, dude. So, well, dude, listen, I got a house full of kids right now. But listen, I hope everybody's beautiful Friday afternoon. I hope you guys watch World Superbike, and it's the last weekend for BSB. Whoever wins going to take the championship like last year. If you guys ain't on it, what are you guys doing with your life, right? It's free to watch. BennettBridgesSuperbikes.com. There you guys go. Thank me later. You guys know the deal and the routine. This episode is sponsored by Next Level Financial. Take total control of your financial future. Get your free complimentary financial needs analysis today through Seth Starnes. He's absolutely an amazing human being. Most of you guys and girls know who he is. He also has Next Level suspension. But yeah, so anyway, listen, ladies and gentlemen, it's an absolute honor to sit down with the legend himself, Brycen Stein. What is going on, Brycen?
Oh, living the dream, dog.
Look, here we go. So my son's friend, where's he at? Come on in, Cam. Say hi to everybody. Caden, say hi. Tell everybody hi. There we go. Yeah.
Hide and seek around the neighborhood. We have our phones.
Hide and seek around the neighborhood.
No, like just around here.
Stay in the yard.
We'll be like on. We're not going up the big road. We're just gonna be where that silver car is.
Okay.
All right.
Uh-oh. I feel like this is gonna be trouble, everybody. But y'all remember them days when you was young, right? You had a bunch of friends over and it was getting dark outside. Yeah, what else is there to do? You don't want to stay inside. Hey, Rossi. You know what? Let me shut my door real quick. Hang on. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that, y'all. But you know how it is with a bunch of kids. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. But it's always hectic with a bunch of little ones running around. And they got full bellies, Brycen. So they're full of energy, right?
Yep.
Yeah. You remember them days, right?
Dude, good old cops and robbers late at night.
Bro, dude, I'm telling you, you know what's awesome is after this, guess what I'm gonna be doing? I'll be doing the same thing, right? So I'm gonna give everybody flashlights. Let's go. We'll go through the neighborhood, and we're big Star Wars fans, so we got a bunch of lightsabers, so we can run through the neighborhood and do the lightsabers and run in the street, do battles. Yeah, dude, you guys should come over, dude, have fun, join. It's gonna be a proper mega really good time through the Simcoe neighborhood. Well, it's not my neighborhood, but the neighborhood, right?
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah, man, absolutely. But listen, Brycen, since we met at Mid Ohio, you and your dad, it's been an absolute honor, and I've been really looking forward to sitting down and having this chat with you. It's always an honor to sit down with my friends and be able to do this. So we have a lot to talk about. Did you watch any World Superbike racing today, Brycen?
I did not. No.
Bro,
I'm not cool.
Bro, what are you doing with your life, man? You ain't watching this World Superbike? What, my BSB?
I was riding. That's what I was doing.
Oh, okay. Well, then I forgive you. All is forgiven, right? Because you was riding. We're good. But yeah. So listen, dude, you can go to BennettBridgesSuperbike.com and watch it for free, bro. It's the last weekend title decider. It's absolutely amazing. So yeah, you guys should check it out. And for my second sponsor, which is Brycen, I tell everybody, don't buy an off the rack suit, because for 90% of us, it's not going to fit you correctly. And Brycen, when a suit don't fit you correctly, what does that cause on a motorcycle?
Cause you to be slower because you're not comfortable.
It hinders your riding style, your body position, causes arm pump. Man, there's all kinds of stuff, right?
Oh yeah.
So go to BrycenTrack.com, get your full custom suit started. You guys see mine hanging up, and I got my chest protector and all that good stuff. It's my first custom suit. It's absolutely amazing. I love it. I wish I'd have done this shit a long time ago, right? It makes a huge difference. It really does. And it's
Sure
super
does.
easy. Brycen, it's easy, right? So you just go to BrycenTrack.com, you pick out the colors, the logos, where you want your patches, perforated, non-perforated, kangaroo, cowhide, airbag, the whole nine. So yeah, BrycenTrack.com.
I know
But
that.
ladies,
Been
go.
there, done that. Rob hooked me up with a bison.
I love it, right? And dude, you love your bison suit, right?
I love it.
Bro, me too. Me, there's nothing like no, this is not a beer. This is actually water in a can. It's called open water. It's
Okay.
liquid death, right? But I seen it and it was on sale, and I was like, you know what? Instead of paying $14 for 8 cans, I'm gonna pay $8 for 12 cans.
There you go.
But yeah, but anyway, Brycen, dude. So we met at Mid Ohio. So let's talk about Mid Ohio real quick, and then I want to get into how you got introduced to motorcycles from
Okay. Let's
your
do it.
age. So Mid Ohio is the first time we've been back since it's been like 10 years, I think.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a while. They repaved it. It was raining, right? So it wasn't fully dry, wasn't fully wet. It was kind of a crazy weekend. Mid Ohio is different. It was my first time there. And the reason why I say it was different is the way they had both pits kind of caged off. It was just different, right? The whole field was different. Even though the atmosphere in the paddock was the same, it was just, I guess, the atmosphere of the track in general, right?
Yeah.
So how'd your weekend go, bro?
Well, a lot of firsts that weekend. First time riding the bike, um, riding the Michael Mays Moto MT09 um, with a fairly stock bike. It went pretty well. Learning the track. Never been to Mid Ohio for the first time. So yeah, a lot of firsts, but we put her in the main show and we had fun. That's all that matters.
I tell everybody that's why we got involved in motorcycles to begin with, because when we first rode one, it was the best time we ever had in our life, right? And we chase that feeling for the rest of our life, trying to fulfill that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Mid Ohio was I like the track layout. It was cool. It's good for every time I go to a track, I look at it both ways, right? Is it good for a fan view when they show up? How much do they have to walk? You know what I'm saying? If they don't have a little mini bike to get around, um, Mid Ohio wasn't that spread out. The best track I think for a spectator not to have to walk so far and still be super close to the pits is New Jersey, because everything's like this, right? The pits and
Okay.
all that good stuff. So, but Mid Ohio was a lot of fun, man. I always enjoy showing up and meeting my friends like you and your dad and all your family do, which was awesome. You guys were cooking good food and y'all were making me hungry. I'm like, man, y'all had it
Anytime.
going
Well,
on. Well, next time, dude, I'm definitely gonna take y'all up on that, right? So
got to now.
facts, right? But going into Mid Ohio, Brycen, first time there, brand new bike. Obviously you showed up and was like, I'm just gonna have fun with it, and where I end up, right? But did you have any certain expectations that you thought of before you actually went into that weekend?
Well, not really. Yeah, the reason why I say that is because I kind of was supposed to be retired, and then so Michael came to me and was like, "Hey, um, I'm building a Super Hooligans bike, and I want you to ride it." And being retired, and I was like, "Uh, okay." Like, so it started out being an 890 Duke. He bought one, and then he went to. We started. They announced the 990 was coming out, and so we put a down payment on a 990, but we realized that it wasn't going to be here in time, so we ended up going with the Yamaha MT09 platform, and so there really wasn't a whole lot of expectation. I mean, the only thing that we wanted to do was just make the main event and not finish last. So we achieved both of those goals and almost reached the top 20. I wish, I can't. I set a really high standard for myself. That's kind of my pros and cons, as I like to put it. Um, so I know I can do better, but it's hard to do better when you only race once a year. So
Yeah. Well, that showing up to a new track you never been to on a bike you never been on. I mean, that's a lot in itself, right, to overcome.
absolutely.
And people, they think when they see motorcycle racers and you show up to the track and you're on a bike that everything's already set up, and that's far from the truth, right? Every track you go to, if you haven't been there, now you got to find the proper setting, the gearing, dude, yada yada. What tire compound I'm gonna run? What feels the best? Yada yada. There's a shit ton involved into it. It's not.
Exactly.
I wish it was as simple as just showing up, throwing them little black brown things on my bike and letting her eat, right? But it's
Sometimes
not
it
that
can.
simple. It can be, right. You're right. Absolutely, Brycen. It absolutely can be, right? Um, but yeah, so listen, let's take it back. Brycen, how did you get involved in two wheels and what age did you start?
So, I believe I was about 2, 3 years old is when I first started riding anything. Um, it started out as being one of those electric razor little pocket rockets. My dad put me on one of those. I think it was like the upper paddock of like Road America, and he put me on one of those. He just had it off for the time being, and he's like, just go push yourself around, kind of like I guess the older version of a what they call a strider nowadays, essentially. But so yeah, I just kind of pushed myself around, got a feel for everything, and then he ends up turning the power switch on after he's like, all right, he's good enough to go. So he turns the power switch on. The first thing I do is just eat it, and yep, little whiskey throttle. But yeah, that was the first experience on a motorcycle, I guess, and then finally I picked it up, and then moved on to a little 50 with some training wheels, and then started doing some mini moto here in Springfield, Illinois, um, and that's kind of how my whole racing career started. 50s doing some supermoto, then moved up to about a 125, and then left the supermoto scene. Went to doing some flat track with four wheelers, and then later on, once I was starting to get old enough, started racing with CCS.
That's where I started was CCS. Actually, I show everybody since I found, dude, look, my very first road racing license in 1999. Bro, CCS. Look at that. Oh, wee, boy, that brings back so many memories. When I found it, I was like, yes, let's go. My wife's like, well, you keep yelling for. I was like, I found my first road race license. Of course, girl, she don't give a shit. She's like, and I was like, forget you. You don't understand. You don't understand me sometimes. I'm all
Got
over my feels right now.
to
Uh,
attitude back to them.
uh, right. So, but yeah, it's funny. Everybody's got their own unique way and journey into road racing. It's kind of the same, but it's different on the path you take, right?
Yeah.
Um, so growing up, 125s and all that, what made you decide to go road racing? Like, did you have a street bike when you got older and did the squid on the street like we all do, and then get with a bunch of knucklehead friends like, let's take this shit to tracks. I'm gonna whoop your ass. You're like, no, I got you, and then you show up and you figure out who's faster and who's not, and it goes from there.
So the reason why I got into road racing was mainly my father. There's pictures that date way back of when he was an amateur back in the day. I was a baby, and sitting on a SV 650 first gen, but they yeah, I literally grew up going to the track every weekend, throughout my entire childhood, pretty much, from his club racing days to his uh, mo- uh, older pro days back running with Moto ST in their endurance series, um, and with they would also run with, I think, some AMA days too. So got to got to meet some older riders like Matt Mladen back when he was still in the states, Aaron Yates when he was still riding, Roger Hayden, Tommy Hayden was still riding for, I believe, Suzuki. So maybe Yamaha. It's been a long time ago. I was quite small, but yeah, a lot of old riders back in the day. Growing up as a kid in the paddock, running around, and So yeah, that's kind of what made me get into it. It just born and just in the blood.
Yeah, dude, absolutely right. My dad was a fighter pilot in the Navy, so I grew up moving all the time, right? Like he'd be gone 9 to 8 months out of time. When he comes home, he would take me, him and his friends would take me out riding on their bikes. I always wanted a dirt bike. My mom was like, hell no. My dad's like, hell yeah, right? But since we moved so much, my dad's like, it's just more shit we got to carry, right? So fortunately for me, every base we went to, I found a friend that, guess what, had a motorcycle, a little dirt bike, right? And that's how my love started, obviously with my dad, but I learned from my friends growing up from base to base to base to base to base to base, right? Throughout my childhood. Um, then when I turned 16, I saved up money and got my first street bike, not a car. My mom was shitting her pants, right? She's like, what are you going to do when it get rains? Get wet, I guess, unless I buy some rain gear, right? What are you going to do when it's cold? I fucking
Yep.
dress warm. I don't know. I'll figure it out, right? All I know is I need to be on 2 wheels. All the other shit, I don't really care about. I'll figure it out, right? Yeah, then of course, squidding on the street. I
Oh
went
yeah.
to MMI, Motorcycle Mechanics Institute in Phoenix. Excuse me. And yeah, got with a bunch of knucklehead friends, goons, and they're like, dude, let's go to do some track days and take the class. And I was like, let's go. And yeah, that's rest is history, right? As they say.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So yeah, growing up at the track definitely made me get into road racing and continue doing other sorts of mini motor racing and whatnot. And then eventually, like I said, got old enough to be able to participate with CCS, and it was a pretty awesome experience. My uncle Aaron Stein was at the time the Learning Curves racing instructor, and so my road race license was signed off by my uncle, which is kind of cool. But yeah, that was at Road Americas when I got my license. And then from there, started out racing at Blackhawk Farms in the Midwest Series. And back when they used to still go to Road America, unfortunately, they don't do that anymore. But yeah, from starting out with little Ninja 300s to SV 650s. And I would say pretty much a majority of my career was racing SVs. So good old junk boy.
Dude, when the SV come out, it was such a great platform. It was
Yeah.
cheap. Dude, that's what we need today, Bryson. We need a cheap bike like that to enter into road racing and help the sport grow instead of these $30,000 entry level bikes, right? But that's a whole nother topic. SVs are great. They've taught so many people so many things, how to go fast, corner speed, because they don't have enough ass to get out of their own way, right? So it's all trail braking, corner speed. That's it. But they're a blast and they're easy to work on, and there's a shit ton of parts for them because they've been around so long, So they are the go-to entry level cheap. I ain't got a lot of money as most road racers. We ain't got a lot of money, right? We got a lot of credit card debt, but not a lot of
Yes,
money,
we do.
right? But not a lot of money to go with it. Yeah, you see all this shiny new shit, but I'm in debt 100 grand. So yeah, you want to help me pay for this? I need some sponsorship. Let's go. Buy a t-shirt, buy a hat. Let's go. You want a sticker? I got you. Yeah. I know all about it, right? So it's a beautiful circus to be in and live in, and I assume I can only suspect that your dad, when he found out he had a boy just like me, he probably had that envision. My son's gonna be a road racer and gonna be a rider and this and that, because I know I did with my boy, right? But it's something I never pushed upon him. You know what I mean? Um, but just seeing your son doing the thing you grew up loving, I'm sure is one of the best feelings in the world, right? Um,
I don't know. I don't have a son.
well, you will,
Eventually, yes.
you will, right? Bro, that's freaking awesome. That's one thing I love about our community is road racing in general. It's such a family. That's where it starts. Mom and dad, or grandpa and dad, right? Buy
Yep.
the kid a bike, or the woman, the girl a bike, and next thing you know, they're in Moto America or World Superbike or wherever, right? It's Man, I love our sport. Ain't nothing like it in the world. Brycen is freaking absolutely amazing. So we actually have a comment right here from Bobby Von Neeson. What is up, my man? He says, "Hey, Chris, man, what's going on, Bobby? Appreciate you watching and tuning in." So going from that to seriously getting into racing, and then where you're at now. You said you really don't race anymore right now, right? You're I'm gonna say it, semi-retired.
I guess, yeah. I was supposed to be fully retired, but semi-retired at the moment. So
So what's gonna happen in 2025, Brycen?
nothing. It's gonna be called a whole lot of housework, is what's gonna happen.
Bro, you're not gonna do club races or anything, or you just gonna
No more racing. It's just gonna be a few track days with the race family, and that's about it. Maybe dabble in some mini moto racing. Actually, just did a 4 hour endurance race last weekend down at in Springfield, Illinois, with Central Illinois Mini Moto, um, and we led most of the race, but due to poor communication, we ended up losing the first place with laps ahead of the second place. So ended up finishing second, but it was a good time. That was one of those instances where we put the dark rubber things around the wheels and just let her eat. And that poor little CRF 100 was screaming.
to me, mini moto racing is the best racing. Yes, I love Junior Cup. I love all that. But dude, there's something magical about even Grom's and Z125s. Like it's you can still hurt yourself, but man, you're not going fast. It's all again brakes and corner trail braking and corner speed, right? Because they don't have enough power to get out a freaking white pepper bag, right? And the smiles you have on your face doing mini moto racing is just far outweighs getting on even a 400 and going out there and right on the track with your buddies, right?
Yeah.
It's something about I don't know because the bikes are little micro mini machines to us, right? We just freaking love it, dude. It's to me that's the best time I ever have.
Oh
Mini
yeah.
moto,
Oh yeah. Yep.
110%. So I assume you're still going to be doing some mini moto then.
Yeah, that'll probably be the only racing I'll do. It's just because it's too much fun.
So let me ask you this: who's faster, you or your dad?
It depends on who you're asking. If you're asking me, it's gonna be me.
I love it, dude. That's awesome.
Depends on the day. Depends on the
It,
day.
it is, man. But again, that's what I love about the racing, right? I see it from both sides because I'm a dad now, right? Being a kid, you look up to your dad and everything he does, you want to replicate, you want to be just like him, and then you see him riding a bike or driving a car or whatever it is, you want to be better than him eventually, right? Then that's where you learn your competitiveness and all that good stuff. And then yeah, you just want to beat your dad. But at the end of the day, when you do beat your dad's so proud, right? It's another I haven't gotten that yet, and eventually I will with my son because I'm buying him a 110cc for Christmas. It'll be his
Ooh, there
fourth
you
dirt bike I done bought him. But that's a whole nother topic and a whole nother story that we'll get into some other time. But yeah, he's just never been into it like me. He loves to go to the races. He's really good friends with Yandel Medea and his family, Carlos and his mom. Big shout out to them. So every time he goes, dude, he rides a little CR50 around like constantly. He stays on his 50. So when he was at Jersey, he's like, "That's it. I'm ready to ride on a dirt bike." And I was like, "Let's freaking go!" Right? So he don't ask me. He goes up to my dad because my dad goes with us. He's like, "Grandpa, will you buy me a dirt bike for Christmas?" And he's like, "For sure." And I was like, "Bro, why didn't you ask me?" He's like, "Because I wanted to ask Grandpa." And I was like, "Yes, good." Because it'd be the fourth one I got you, right? So uh we'll see how it goes, right? But just you saying that, right? It's being on both ends of the spectrum, I could see. What up? You out?
Pick her up. The kids are under control. They're in the yard.
All right.
I'll be back.
All right. Later, homie. That was my good buddy Dustin. His son's over here, and they come over, dude. So I made I like to cook. I made creamy Tuscan potato and sausage and kale soup for dinner tonight, right? Oh, bro, it's so, dude, I'm telling you, Brycen, it's so easy, and it's so freaking good, and it's healthy for you. There ain't shit in it that's bad for you, right? So Dustin, he's a good buddy of mine. He literally lives like 7 houses down the left. Him and my son are like best friends. And I was like, bro, I'm making this soup. So we always call each other. We cook like once a week together, for the families and stuff. So we're always sending each other cooking pictures and shit. He's like, I never had that before. I said, well, bring your ass up here. I got a podcast at 7. And next thing I know, all these kids show up and they're there. I was like, dude, can you stay out here with me while I start my podcast and make sure everything's kind of under control so I don't leave here? My house is on fire and the ambulance is coming down the street. And I'm in the middle of a podcast going, what's up with all the police and the fire trucks outside for? This is weird. I never had this before. I hope the neighbors are okay, right? And then I'm smelling smoke. Like, oh shit, this is my house. Yeah. So, yeah. But so let me ask you this, Brycen. What made you want to retire from motorcycles?
Well, the reason why I retired was because I, for one, couldn't afford it really anymore. It was just getting very expensive. I had just bought a house, amongst other things. Got out of the military, so I was trying to start a life too, outside of that, and also I just wasn't having fun. I just wasn't having fun anymore, and as most people would say, this sport is too damn expensive to not have fun. So
No, you're right. First thing I want to say is thank you for your service, bro.
thank you.
Without you doing what you do, we wouldn't be able to sit here for one and do a podcast. We wouldn't have the freedom we have right now. There'd be no football or NASCAR or any of that. So yeah, Holly, come in, dude. Absolute honor, bro. So you're a legend, absolute legend.
Not even close,
bro. Bullshit. You can't bullshit me on my podcast, Brycen. I don't want to hear that shit. I'm not having it. You are a legend, dude. Get out of here. Dude, so let's talk about the military for a minute, man. What service did you do? What was your job and how long did you serve for?
Well, I was in the Navy, so
My dad was too.
oh, yep. I was a corpsman. I was a medic in the Navy. So, and for the first 2.5 years of my career, I was part of the Navy's ceremonial guard over in Washington, D.C. So I was a glorified show pony for the Navy, doing funerals over at Arlington National Cemetery to arrivals of foreign dignitaries and whatnot. So, doing presidential things, being walkways, all sorts of different stuff. So,
classified info. I can't tell you, Simcoe, so stop asking.
Classified.
It's classified. I tell you, but then I have to kill you. That's a quote from Top Gun, people.
Yeah. So, yeah, that was the first 2.5 years, and then I got to do some medical stuff as a corpsman, and then got out after 4 years. So, yep.
Dude, that's awesome, man. Thank you. It's an absolute honor to for one, again, have you on the podcast, to be friends, and for you to serve our beautiful country. So thank you again. That's freaking amazing, bro. It is. I grew up in it, so it's not a path that I took. I'm not saying that I didn't think about it, and it's absolutely a great career move. There's so many of my friends that did it, and they're freaking retired at like 42 years old, and they're getting fucking paid and got a full-time. They're just getting paid, free medical and dental. It's like, why didn't I do that, right? But it was the path that I didn't choose. I just wanted to do motorcycles, and that was what my life was dedicated for. I didn't really give a shit about anything else. Well, that and chasing girls, right? I mean, come on, that's what when we grow up, that's what we do. Motorcycles and with girls. That's all I did. I didn't give a shit about anything else. You could have said, they just pressed the nuke, it's coming. I'd be like, I need to go ride then. Like, I'm down one wheel. Facts.
I'll chase it with my motorcycle. I'm
gonna chase it to the impact zone, baby. Let's go. It's yeah, it's that's one thing again that I love about our sport, man. Once it gets a hold of you, it's the best drug in the world, right? And congratulations on buying a house, home ownership.
Yeah.
You know, you hear it growing up. Oh, dude, you showing your house, it's gonna be fun, and you get in it, and every time you turn around, it's 3,000 and 2,000 and you know
Yep.
1,000 and yeah, it's not cracked up what they said it is, right? No, it's a beautiful thing. It's just a lot of work, more than you actually imagine, right? Because now I'm growing up. Well, at least on paper, I'm growing up.
Yeah.
Right here, absolutely not. Right, let's
Nope.
fucking go. Right,
I'm always
it's
trying to go do some scooter mobbing.
bro. I'm telling you, dude. That's why, dude. Hey, if me and you live close together, bro, me and your dad, we'd be running from the police, doing barbecues, and our wives would be highly pissed off at us. That's all
Yeah.
I know, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So 100%. But one day we will have to do that for sure. Whether it's in the paddock or wherever, we'll goon life it up, right? Because that's what it's about, man. Sharing the goon life together. It's
Absolutely.
freaking amazing, man. So listen, dude, you gotta do not one Moto America race next year, Brycen, not just one.
Nope. Actually, a friend of mine, August Nord, that you just did a podcast with, she's going to be riding May's Moto MT09 next year. As far as I know, that's the plan. So,
Well, good, man. Good,
yep.
good. Yeah, it's she's awesome. Can't
She,
wait to meet her too. So
she's fast.
yeah, absolutely. That's what I hear. That's what people have been telling me. To August Nord, you got August Nord on. She's fast. Blah blah blah. Yeah, I get. It's overwhelming the response I get from doing a podcast and people commenting and sending me personal messages all the time. It's dude, it's I get overwhelmed with emotion because I never thought I'd be here doing this and be so well accepted, right? So when it's just but anyway, it was a little rant. I kind of just went on, but yeah, August. I had a lot of comments and love for her for sure. And I
I got
will
I got to say one thing though. This is going to piss her off so much. But
do it.
I am faster than her. I beat her time by a 10. So August, if you're watching, sorry, had to do it to you.
I love it. Don't worry. What I'll do is I'll clip that little segment out and I send it to her personally with that, and that's all it is. Matter of fact, I'm gonna clip that out and I'm gonna say that, and that's gonna be her ringtone when I talk to her. She
Clip it.
calls. August, I'm faster than you, and I beat you by a 10th, and you know that. I fucking love it, dude. That's awesome. Oh my god. So obviously you have a wife, right, or
Yeah.
a girlfriend? All right.
Married.
I met my wife on a blind date. How did you and your wife meet?
Well, I met her in junior college, first semester of college, and was gonna, try really hard. And what do you know? The first day, I forgot my glasses, so the only seat that was available was in front of her. So, yep, that's how that went. And then eventually, after a couple tests, I realized I was not doing so well. I turned around and asked her. I said, "How did you do?" And she goes, "Oh, not as good." And she's like, "Okay, what'd you get?" And I guess she goes, "I got a 98." And I started laughing. I was like, "Yeah, okay, you're not doing so good." But yeah, that's pretty much how that started.
You said you got a 98. That's Jake Zimke. I got a 58, and that's Marco Simoncelli, right? So, no, I didn't do that good at all compared to your 98. So, I don't want to hear that.
Exactly. She'd be like, "What are you talking about?"
I'd be like, well, if you only knew, girl, if you only knew. Maybe one day I'll get the chance to introduce you to my world. What are you doing after the class today? You want to go for a coffee?
Exactly. Yep. And she actually did. So
Uh,
she became my umbrella girl, and I even got her in a suit one day and got her to drag her knee in 2 hours, and I'm pretty proud of her.
I'm
So,
proud of her too. That's awesome. So, when you're gonna have little Brysons running around?
I have no idea.
Ain't nothing like it, bro. I'm gonna tell you right now. You hear it. I've had friends that had kids, and I'm a huge dog per. I was gonna say I know my dog's in here. I didn't even look to check sure. My dog Charlie, she's always with me. She's old. She's like 13-year-old pit bull. She's fucking the best dog ever. But anyway, I was always like, no, my dog's just like a kid. Blah 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 blah. Dude, no, absolutely not. It's once I had my son, I cut that umbilical cord, bro. Brycen and you hold him for the first time. Like he was crying. They put him in a little incubator. I walked over there after I cut the umbilical cord. I stuck my finger out like this. I was like, Rossi, I'm your dad. It's finally nice to meet you. And he grabbed my finger and just stopped crying. Bro, it was like this switch that switched on your body that you don't even realize you have. And in that one instance, and parents, you know what I'm talking about right now. Your whole world and your worldview and the way you thought completely changes. Okay. Not everything. You don't realize it at first. But dude, when we took him home from the hospital, that was the most nervous I've ever been in my whole life driving a car or a truck or whatever it was, right? It's hard to put into words, bro, but you will feel that one day, man. Like I said, dude, listen, it's the greatest thing ever, bro.
I got a text with it the other last week or the week before. My sister, she just had a kid about 3 months ago, and so my the first time I held him, I was afraid to like hold him or anything just because he was so small and fragile. I didn't want to do anything to hurt him. But then he went on a ride with Uncle B in the truck, and like you said, the most careful you've ever driven. So yeah, it's crazy.
Dude, it's so Kara Stein Bishop. What's going on, Kara? Thank you for watching. And Deanna Stein, thank you for tuning in. He says he has a nephew that is Uncle B's buddy. Zake loves you, Uncle B. I love it, man. Love it. Yeah, it's nothing like it, man. It makes you want to be better and dig deeper down inside than you ever thought you could, right? It's one of those things. It's just hard to explain, but yeah, man, can't wait, and I'm sure your dad can't wait, neither your mom.
Oh, Dad's probably already planning all sorts of things for that grandkid.
100%. He's gonna have a bike before he's even here, or she. It don't matter. Yeah, dude, I'm absolutely like. My son I bought him a TTR 50 before he was born, and for his first, he was born November 19th, so December 25th, he had a KTM Strider bike underneath him. My wife's like, he's too young to, he can't even crawl yet. I was like, that's okay. At least he's got it. When he's ready, he can just jump on it and footy around the house, right? So, yeah, man. Yeah, ever since then, he's all my energy and my focus obviously goes into that, and that's the main reason why I do this podcast. So one day when I'm not here, he can always go back and listen to his dad, hang out with his friends, have a proper mega time, and talk about the sport that he grew up in love with and still do. Right? That's why we're here.
Absolutely.
So, but yeah, man, listen, dude, we're almost 40 minutes into this already. Dude, dude, I told you, Bryce, this is gonna go by so fast. So we're definitely gonna do a part 2 to this podcast. So when we end this, Bryson, just down with me, we'll go ahead and schedule a part 2 because there's just so much I want to dive down into. Obviously, we touched a little touch base of how you got into it and kind of skimmed over the water, kind of like a skimboard. When you go to the ocean, you stay right there on the shore with a little bit of water. You got that little bit of stream and that info. You get that little feeling of what it's going to be like to catch your first wave, right? So our next podcast, we'll do a more deep down dive into it. Actually, I would love to actually get you and your dad on at the same time.
That'd be bad.
Yeah, never had no one. It'd be badass. That's exactly right, right? The shit talking is going to commence for sure. Yeah, right. But it would be cool, Bryce, because I never had a father and son on a podcast at the same time. So it'd be cool to get that dynamic. And you can be like, oh, I remember this. And your dad be like, bullshit, I remember this. And be like, yes, let's go. Who remembers what? Ding, ding, ding. Round 1 now. But it would be a really good time, right? Because then, we'll do a deeper dive and you tell your version. Your dad be like, no, that's not what happened, bro. This is what happened. All that good stuff, man. It'd be good. So yeah, we'll do that for sure. And then we'll obviously get you on separate too again, and we can do a deeper dive and down your memory bank in your memory lane on all that good stuff, man. But listen, since I'm glad and it was an honor to see you and meet you at your last ever Moto America race. But you know what, Bryson? I don't say that. It won't be your last ever race, bro.
Time will tell.
I already know it's not. I feel the energy in the earth. It's absolutely not going to be your last race because it's just not.
Well, we will see. We will see.
It can't, Brycen. You can't do this to me. Dude, yeah. So what? Say that again, buddy.
I said I've hooked the audience and they'll never get to see the rest of it.
Oh man, dude, yeah, that's bullshit. That is some bullshit right there. But yeah, dude, it was, man. It was an absolute honor to meet you and your family and your dad there at Mid Ohio. But dude, we're reaching about 40 minutes of this. I want to get away from all the motorcycle talk, even though it wasn't a whole lot of it, right? And I wanted to get to know Brycen on a personal level, right? So I have a couple questions laid out here that I'm gonna ask you before we end this podcast. And the first one I want to start off by asking, and I usually don't start off by asking this one, but with you. I'm gonna start off by asking this one. So currently, right now, Brycen, Mr. Retired Legend Brycen Stein. If Brycen Stein had his own Moto America Superbike team, right now, currently, as we speak, what manufacturer would you have, and what's the 2 current riders in Moto America that you would put on your bike for 2025 in the Superbike class?
I don't know. That's a tough one. I'd say either I'd have do the BMW or the Ducati. They're strong. You can it. Yeah, that one of those two. I mean, I don't know a whole lot about them just because I've never owned one, but yeah, it'd probably be one of those two, and then the 2 riders I would choose. One of them would have to be PJ Jacobsen. That man deserves to be on a superbike. Yeah, I feel like he drew the short end of the stick of getting dropped down to World Super Sport, and same thing, honestly, for Matthew Skoltz too. So I don't know. Maybe Matthew Skoltz and PJ Jacobsen on some on either a BMW or a Ducati. Imagine that, huh?
That and Cole King. You got to have Cole on there.
Cole's got to do a little bit more. I don't know. I love the guy, but he's got to get a little bit faster.
Cole's my dude, man. I met him for the first time at Mid Ohio too, man. Yeah,
he's probably watching this right now, talking shit.
No, if he was, he would definitely be commenting, talking shit. This Deanna says Cole King, and Deanna, you're absolutely right. I agree with you. I like you, Deanna, and I can't wait to. Did me and you, Deanna, meet at Mid Ohio?
Yeah.
Well, next time I meet you, I need a hug because I like you and I like that. Cole King, I'm with you. Cole King for president. That should be on my next shirt. Cole King for president. Yeah. But yeah, she said nope. It's all right. We will meet. I promise. So are you a coffee drinker, Brycen?
I love coffee. I am a connoisseur.
Me too, man. Right. I'm weird because it's like in the summertime I like hot coffee, in the wintertime I like cold coffee.
I dig it.
Yeah. It's just, I don't know, I guess because it's cold, right? Don't get me wrong, in the morning time when I wake up at 4:15, it's freaking cold. Yeah, I'll do a little warm, but then I'll make another one before I leave the house and it's iced straight up, just sucking it down on the way to work. My heated seats on, all that. Yeah, this is good. Let's go jamming to some music or listen to a podcast or whatever. Yeah. Well, let me ask you this, bro. Tell us something we don't know about Brycen at all.
Well, speaking of coffee, I was very, very, let's just say I was fairly close to opening up my own coffee shop, actually. I had a name picked out, I had a logo that I made, and a strong idea. I just never did it. I just wasn't the right time or place, really, so just never fulfilled that thought and dream, I guess.
Well, let's do it. What's stopping you from doing it?
Being young and not having enough money because I put it towards motorcycles.
I can't say nothing to that. So yeah, okay. But I'm with you on that. Yeah, I'm with you. So yeah, okay, yeah. It's but good idea, man. Because coffee's great, man. Right? Good stuff, man.
Yeah, I had the whole vibe layout already thought up of. I was gonna have those like garage doors being as like windows slash the doors, and yeah, had like old vintage motorcycles like Triumphs and like a Honda CBX thrown in there, all sorts of cool vintage stuff.
Little TS 125.
Yeah, maybe restore my dad. Went hint hint. My dad's RZ 350 that he used to have.
Bro.
Yeah,
Bro. Now you're speaking my language, right?
yeah.
So I
He's
gotta
still
ask you this,
great.
bro. What was the name of the coffee shop?
Uh, so it was gonna be called the Coffee Can with can spelled CANN for cannabis. So I was gonna it was gonna be a dispensary and a coffee bar at the same time.
Bro. I'm on my way. Sign me up, baby. I'm in. I'm in it. I'm in, bro. That's say no more, bro. That would have been a yeah. So that's something you need to do, bro. I'm with you on that. We need to find you some sponsorship for this.
I guess.
100%. No, not I guess to it. Let's freaking do this. It's a great idea, man, for sure. Let me ask you this, bro. What's your worst habit?
Worst habit.
I'm sure your wife will tell,
Yeah, she probably has. She can tell you that instantly. I
but
don't.
I'm sure it's different than what we think, right? Because I know my wife, she'd be like, "That's your worst habit." I'm like, "Bullshit. That ain't my worst habit. This is my worst habit." Yeah.
Uh, I honestly don't know. I don't know what my worst habit is. Probably a little bit of a procrastinator. I don't know.
It's I was waiting on you to say this, but somebody else did for you, right? Spending too much money on bikes with a bunch of laughing emojis.
Yeah, yeah.
But that's not a worst habit. That's the best habit.
See,
Listen,
that's why I didn't say it. That's a pretty good.
yes, it's the best habit. For it's hard to um explain to somebody the love and the passion that we have for two wheels, right? It's such a deep passion. It's like I wish that everybody in this world would have some type of passion in life. I think the whole world would be a better place. I don't care what the passion is. A pet owner, gardening, drawing, freaking painting, whatever it is, building a rocket ship. It don't matter. P's and Q's, whatever it is. If you had a pet GQ, you're right, Dan, a GQ. If you had a passion for something that you was truly in love with, like we are with motorcycles, it's what drives us. It's what keeps us awake. It's what keeps us
Same.
smiling and sane. It really is, right? Like the words, like when my grandma passed away, she was the first one that um I don't even know if I ever told this. My grandma never met my son Rossi. She's seen the ultrasound. 2012, my son was born. That was the worst and best year of my life. I had to put my first two dogs down that I ever had, like 3 months apart from each other. And then my grandma passed away 3 days before my birthday. My birthday's May 18th. She died on May 15th. And then my son was born that November. So that's why I say it was the best and the worst year, right? And she always supported my motorcycles and stuff, even though she didn't like it, right? She's always like, "You're gonna get hurt," blah blah blah. I was like, "Grandma, but you don't understand, right?" But she had a passion for she could paint. Like she was like a Picasso, and I never knew she could paint so good till she started getting older and she started doing. I was like, "Who's painting?" She said, "I painted." I was like, "Bullshit!" Like I called her bullshit. Yeah, dude. So it's again, everybody's got to have one passion. And one thing too, I tell Brycen all the time, I think's missing in everybody. I don't think I know is missing in everybody's day's life. And people listen to me when I'm getting ready to say, you guys hear me say it all the time. Every day, stop what you're doing for 30 seconds, a minute, or 3 minutes and enjoy the moment. Enjoy the suck. If whether you're at work, you're waking up, you don't want to wake up, you don't want to go to work. Listen, one day, just enjoy it. Because time is something we can't stop, we can't pause, we can't rewind, we can't fast forward. So love every moment, love everybody around you, give all your family hugs, spend time with them. I don't care how much you dislike them. Because I'm a big family guy, Brycen, so I go to my parents' house once or twice a week. As a matter of fact, I was at the grocery store earlier today, and I come around the corner and I hear my mom go, Chris, and I turn around, my mom's there. I was like, what's up, mom? You know, even though I'm going to, I'll see her tomorrow, but yeah, it's yeah, of course. She's like, well, let me get you this. Let me buy you that. And I'm like, Mom, I got plenty of stuff. I'm good. You know, it's just moms. I do the same thing with my boy, right? Well, I will once he gets older and he moves out. Let me get you this, man. Let me buy at least buy some hot dogs and hamburger buns so you don't starve, right? It's yeah. So
I kind of go along with that. I seen this thing today on social media. It was like, "Dear Black Friday, we all have TVs now. Make those groceries on sale."
hey, facts, right? Yeah, absolutely. Brycen, dude, listen, I listen to a lot of audiobooks, bro. Like the only books I read is shop manuals, right? From my RC51 or my CF100 or whatever bike, my Ducati, whatever. But audiobooks, bro, I listen to a shit ton of audiobooks.
Okay.
I'm big into obviously any motorcycle racer that's got an audiobook. I have it. I've listened to it. The best one. And I'm not saying they're all proper mega and they're all amazing stories. But John Hopkins Leathered, bro, is freaking the best one that I've listened to. Highly recommended. And Matthew McConaughey Greenlight's really good.
Okay.
The cooking one with Adrian Bourdain, I can never say his first name. His confidential one was really good. So I listen to a lot of audiobooks. I'm actually currently listening to Kara says his whole family are his biggest fans. I love it. Nothing but love. I absolutely I love it. I'm listening to I like to show everybody. Mark Webber, the F1 driver.
Okay.
I actually got 8 hours left because it was like a 12-hour book or whatever.
Gotcha.
It's something that I like to audiobooks is a good way because it's when I read, I get sleepy and I just want to fall asleep, right? I got ADHD and I don't take prescribed medicine for it. I don't believe in prescribed medicine. I get it. I'm sure there's certain medicines out there that you need to take and it is beneficial, outweigh the side effects.
Yeah.
But I'm just a firm believer that in 99.9% of these man-made prescriptions are made to keep you sick or with some type of thing. That's how big pharmacies and stay with money, right? Because if they cured everything, they'd be out of business. But that's a whole nother topic.
Yes, it is.
So I deal with it in my own way. And it's hard sometimes. I ain't gonna lie, right? But yeah, I'm just but anyway, books. Do you listen to any audio books?
I don't really I don't like to read really. I hate it.
Well, that's why you listen to audiobooks, Brycen. Come on, man.
I know the Leathered book that you're talking about by John Hopkins. I've seen that. I've been wanting to read it, but I don't know, man. I'm much more of the type to just jump on a bike and just go ride, even if it's for 5-10 minutes or a bicycle. Like I just love being outside and doing something. So
listen, and you tell me you're going to retire, and every time I ask you a question, we go right back to I just want to ride. I just want to do this, bro. You ain't retiring, bro. Come on, it ain't gonna happen. So let me ask you this then: podcast. Do you listen to any podcasts, Brycen?
For a while, I listened to the Sean Ryan show.
I like the Sean Ryan show.
Yeah,
I listen to it.
He's good. I listen to the Joe Rogan podcast. Sometimes they got some pretty funny people on there.
Yeah, I listen to Rogan.
I love a good laugh.
Yeah.
But that and sorry in advance, but I sometimes will listen to a Michael Hill's podcast. He's a family friend also, so
Yep.
his podcast as well. So
yeah. I listen to Hills too, right? Dude, you didn't say pin the gas, bro. I'm offended right now. This podcast is over. Bye. No, I'm just joking, dude. I'm joking, Brycen. I'm joking, bro. I'm just joking. I tell everybody. I'm like, what? It's over. Bye. Bam. Done now. Yeah, I listened to Dina Stein said this podcast. Thank you, Dina. Thank you. I'm just messing with Brycen, dude. That's what we're about. Friends having fun, right?
Oh, yeah.
Dude, I listen too, man. I listen to Rogan. There's a bunch of podcasts I listen to. I listen to Danny Jones is another good one. He's kind of like Rogan.
Gypsy Tales. That was the other one.
Gypsy Tales. I listen to him. I listen to Chasing the Racing, which is one of my favorite podcasts besides my mate Dave Neal with Off Track Podcast out there in the UK. And of course, the Off Track Podcast here with Brothers in Christ. Yeah, there's a bunch of them. Of course, you know, James
Corey,
and Corey's. Yep.
Yeah, Corey Texters.
Yep.
James Rispoli's podcast. Yeah.
Pipe Dreams. Yep, I listen to that too, man. Absolutely, man. Let me ask you this, dude. Do you have any tattoos?
I do. Yeah.
Nice.
And you can see, but what do you know? It's a motorcycle sprocket.
Right. Look, well, you know, I got a Ducati one and Marco Simoncelli. I got a Rossi one on my back. Yeah, I don't. Who loves motorcycles? I ain't nobody. What's a motorcycle? Yeah, dude, I feel you on that.
Sorry, my wife is behind the camera here, so I apologize for being distracted.
Dude, you're good, bro. Trust me. You see my kids coming here. Hey,
so this is why I was being distracted. Come here, River.
Let me see.
So this is my nephew, River.
Yeah, bring him on, River. Hi, River.
Big brother.
How you doing? I like the shirt. I love it. His first podcast. Woo!
Yeah, buddy. The big news was, I guess he's now a big brother.
Nice. Congratulations. Yes.
Bro. Being distracted there.
Dude, no apologies. Dude, we're good, bro. We're friends. Like I said, having fun. This is real. This is as real as a podcast is ever going to get. And I love it. It's good stuff, man. It just shows us, you know, we're real and we're not fake. And yeah, none of this shit is scripted at all. Me and Bryce didn't talk about. I said, this is the only question I'm gonna ask you. Where it goes from there, it's gonna go naturally. So yeah, dude, listen, I'm in. I think that's what's unique about my podcast that separates me from everybody else, right?
For sure.
So yeah, man, good stuff, man. Good stuff. So let me ask you, dude, there's still a ton of questions. We're almost on an hour of this, so we're gonna end it here in a minute because I gotta go tend to these kids. Hopefully my house ain't on fire and shit's everywhere, right? But listen, I got like 30 more personal questions I'm gonna ask you, but we're gonna save that for part two. Are you a beer or wine guy?
Out of the two, probably beer.
So you're more of a bourbon guy then?
I like liquor. Yeah.
Okay. Tequila.
No.
What's up, bud?
Can I walk Caden home?
Can you walk Caden home? Who's all walking with you?
Me, Zach, and Cam.
Is Cam walking back with you here?
Yeah, so Zach.
Yes. Just
he has his phone. He has his phone.
Are you guys taking y'all's lightsabers?
I'm taking this one. But do you want me to take the really? Wait, do you want me to take the color changing one, or do you want me to take the one that's real bright?
Dude, take a bright one, bro, because I want people to see you. And if you got one of your flashlights, grab that one too with your lightsaber.
Bro, did you see me with that flashlight?
Yeah, I did.
Dude, that flashlight on full blast, it will light up this whole yard.
I know it will.
Dude, that flashlight's dope.
Y'all hit it here first, right?
Yeah.
Hey, y'all be careful.
Rossi strap. Watch out, y'all.
Bro, y'all coming through the neighborhood, you act up. We got lightsabers, baby. Y'all heard it here first. Y'all don't want none of this. Lightsabers. Bro, we'll cut your house in two. Your car, no problem, right? Yeah, you don't want none. Absolutely not. Yeah, it's awesome, man. Absolutely awesome. Listen, Brycen, dude, this has been freaking a lot of fun, man. I really enjoyed your time away from your family to be able to do this. So thank you to the Brycen family, the Stein family. This has been a lot of fun. Can't wait for part two. We will schedule that here in a minute. But before we get off here, I'm going to do my shout outs and I'm going to let you end the podcast, right? So listen, first and foremost, thank everybody that listens to my podcast. It means the absolute world to the world to me. I said war, world to me. It's hard for me to, I just get emotional. Like I said earlier, it really means a lot, but thank you. If you guys have a chance, and girls, please go to Podbean. And which I've been having this issue here. Like if you go to my Spotify channel, it only shows I got 98 episodes, but if you go to Podbean, I got like 242 episodes of, 242 episodes. Who would have thought, right? But listen, wherever you listen to me from, please go like and subscribe, hit that bell, leave a comment, whether you like me or not. Just leave a comment. I love you anyways. It means a lot to me. As soon as my new merch gets in here, I got some more merch coming in. I'll drop it for you guys. But first and foremost, Next Level Financial, thank you so much. Brycen, best leathers, best people in the world. Big shout out to RD Racing and my buddy Jake Marsh out there in the UK that support me and run my logo. And to my mate Martin from the clothingkings.co.uk, you guys can go out there and order all your Pendergast merch over there from the UK. Flying Eyes Optics is a new sunglass sponsor that I took on at Wisconsin. These are actually made to wear underneath your motorcycle helmet, Brycen, right? And they're super light, dude. They're super comfortable. They come in prescription, non-prescription. They got all kinds of different styles and colors. So you guys go to flyingeyesoptics.com, use the discount code Pendergast10 and get 10% off. I'm surprised I still have them because every time I leave the house, my wife's friends are always trying to steal them. Men and women, they're like, dude, those are cool. I'm like, yeah, dude, check them out. These are Flying Eyes Optics. They're like, holy shit, these things are so light. And as soon as they put it on their head, they're like, bro, I need to order some. I'm like, cool. Here's a discount code. Go on, get you some. But they keep trying to steal mine. No, you can't have my Flying Eyes Optics. I worked hard for this shit, people. But you go to Flying Eyes Optics, use discount code and get your own. Big shout out to Chef Eats, man. Chef Eats, Jeff Serving and them make the most amazing food. Throw it in the microwave for 3 minutes and 30 seconds. Their steak is tender and juicy. Their chicken is moist and juicy. Dude, it's absolutely the best food. He has different meals, athlete meals. You want to gain some weight, I mean, whatever. He's got those meals too, right? But all his food, the point I'm making is absolutely amazing. Go to chefeats.com. I get food. I take it to work. It's easy. It's convenient. I ain't got to take shit. I just throw it in the microwave, eat it. When I'm done, I throw it away, and it's super healthy, right? So you ain't got to worry about all the calories and all that crap. Low sodium. Oh my God, it's so good. Chefeats.com, people. You hear me say it all the time. Big shout out to all my people at SFL Mini GP North and South, and all my friends and family in Florida. I'm so glad that you guys are okay. Sending all my love to everybody. I know it's a lot of work to come back from something like this. Big shout out to Vet 2 Track, my buddy Jim Whitman, for all my military people out there, such as Brycen. He does a program where he cures PSTD one lap at a time, which is an amazing program. So go look him up, vet2track.com. Be sure to tell him your friend Simcoe sent you from Pendergast Podcast. Anybody out there looking for custom body work, Ghetto Customs. I mean, Chris Parrish makes the best freaking body work you can get. So if you guys need some, ghettocustoms.com. Anybody in the market for a 2-piece undersuit, 64-degree racing, my man Tate sent me my most favorite undersuit I've ever had. It's a 2-piece. It's all custom. It is absolutely super, super amazing. So yeah, I hope I didn't forget anybody. And if I did, nothing but love for all you. And I appreciate it. This episode will be uploaded everywhere. I'm not on Apple yet because I need a new laptop, but I will be there. But it's out everywhere, Brycen, Spotify, iHeart, wherever you listen to your podcast, pretty much, right? But listen, Brycen, before we get off here, is there anything else you want to say?
Just want to say thank you for everybody listening. Thank you, Chris, for the opportunity. We'll definitely catch up some more on another part 2, and make sure you like, subscribe, and comment for Chris's podcast, y'all. Thank you.
Dude, bro, that was like the best one I ever had. Thank you so much, man. That was awesome. But listen, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna get off here. I got kids, dude, that run around the neighborhood with lightsabers. People might be starting to call the police. I don't know what's going on, right? I hope not, but I'm gonna be that guy out there with the lightsaber here in a few minutes myself. So we might be getting into some devious stuff here in Roanoke, Virginia. So if you happen to be in the neighborhood and you see purple and pink and yellow lightsabers, stop and say hi. Get out. We'll have a lightsaber battle together, right? We'll have a lot of fun. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys so much that watched this. Again, this episode will be out tomorrow. Thank you, Brycen. It's been an absolute honor. It was an honor to meet you and your whole family at Mid-Ohio. Can't wait for part 2. Thank you for Deanna and Kara and everybody. Man, I love all you guys. Absolutely amazing people. I hope your guys' weekend is as proper mega as you are. Don't forget World Superbike and the last BSB race this weekend. Let's freaking go, people. Right? But anyway, it's over. Ladies and gentlemen, absolute honor. Brycen Stein. Thank you so much, my man. All right, let me end this. What'd you think, Brycen?